Hola, hola, amigas. Welcome to another episode of Modern Latina in Midlife. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you'll notice that I have a different setting. I am recording this on December 30th from beautiful Costa Rica. And as is usually the case, when I'm sitting in presence out, being fully grounded and without devices, I start to get downloads and I start to get messages. And there's been a message that I've been wanting to share for a while that that came as a result of dog poop. And again, it happened. I was sitting out at the beach enjoying the sun, and again, I saw this big pile of dog poop. And then I got this message. I was communicating and co-creating with my spirit guides at the time. And they're like, it's time you do the podcast episode on the dog poop. So we're talking about dog shit today. But before I get into that, it is a new year. And well, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. And with the new year, there's always a time to we can start something new and reflect at any time of the year. But the calendar year, the beginning of the year, always seems to be a natural place for a lot of people to start. For me, it's a time for reflection. I'm wintering. I take it slow. I slow down. I become real present. I need time for my body to just stop and slow down and kind of give me direction, really, my spirit guides to receive messages from them as to my next steps. And the next steps have always been really clear the last few months. It's been, well, just take the next step. And that's all they want to show me. So right now, the next step is this podcast episode. And with that, though, I created a gift for you. If you've been listening to this for a while, I'm big on manifestation. I love intentionally manifesting. Whether you believe in manifestation or not, you are manifesting. Everything that you look at right now that is sitting around you, that is available to you, that you're surrounded with, the people you're surrounded with, the situations you're surrounded with, those are manifestations. Um, I'm not saying that if you're in a bad situation that you deserve it. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that the actions and habits and choices that we make create these manifestations and walk us towards these situations and manifestations. And there's a way to do that differently and to walk into the life that we truly desire and truly deserve. So, with that said, some of the most downloaded episodes that you have liked from my podcast are a manifestation. Some of the most liked posts and conversations have been around manifestation. So, I decided to create a New Year manifestation toolkit and provide that to you as a gift for this new year for free. It includes pages for the year-end reflection for now, to reflect on this past year, to make a list of the things that you want to let go. I include instructions for a New Year's Eve burning ceremony to release and let go of what no longer serves you. It includes New Year's manifestation pages and monthly manifestation pages, as well as review pages, so that you're constantly reviewing those manifestations. What you focus on expands. So if you set those manifestations at the beginning of the year and create a roadmap for you, for yourself, and you're revisiting them every single month and reviewing, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to continue doing, what do I need to let go of, and keep working towards that, where are you placing your focus and energy? You're placing it on the things that you want to manifest. And this is how you start to get out of the rut and the things that you don't want in your life. So I created this manifestation toolkit. It's about 60 pages long for every month of the year, so that you can start intentionally manifesting the life that you desire and deserve. So if you want to download that, it is completely free. Go to sonia-flores.com/manifest. And I will include that link in the show notes for you. If you go to my website, sonia-flores.com, it's also available as a pop-up. But a really quick way to get to it is to go to sonia-flores.com/manifest. Okay. Now, as I was telling you, there a while back, a few months back, actually, I was walking with my boyfriend on our regular morning walk, and we're walking on this like sidewalk. It's kind of a track, in a community, in a neighborhood, and there was this pile of dog shit right in the middle of the sidewalk. So we kind of had to go around it. And as we were passing by it, you could smell it. The smell was very pungent. I think it was fresh. Um, it hadn't been sitting there very long. And we had to go around it. Not a big deal. But here's the thing. We're walking by it, and I'm like, I said, people just leave their dog shit laying around. Like they don't care who's going to come across it, who's going to have to walk around it, move out of their way to walk around it. And what if we're a little distracted and don't watch where we're stepping and then we run into it? I said, people just don't care that others are crossing their shit and smelling their dog shit, and people just don't pick up after themselves. And I went on and on saying this, and my boyfriend's just listening, like, okay. And then I just kept going. I said, it's kind of like, I said, these are probably the people that don't pick up their own shit, that don't clean up after themselves. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, these are probably the people that are not taking inventory of their own shit. They're not taking inventory of their poor behaviors and their poor choices, and how the way that they act and behave and the energy that they put out into the world affects the rest of us. I say they just don't care. They just drop their shit everywhere. They're just walking around with all their wounds and all their limiting beliefs and all their yucky stuff and all their trauma, and taking it out on other people. And then we come across it and we feel it and we see it and we smell it. And we're either going to come and, towards them, and sometimes we have to be around people like this, like if it's somebody that we work with, or somebody that we're sitting in a class with. And you got to put up with that stuff. You got to put up with the smell. You got to put up with that dog, that shit, the bad attitude, the bad behavior, the evil eye, all the thought, all the things, all the stuff. I said, and they're not taking the time to do the work that they're here to do in this lifetime. They're not taking the time to take inventory of what those things are that are affecting them and affecting the people around them, and how it affects other people around them, and doing the work, cleaning their slate, cleaning their side of the sidewalk, picking up after their own shit. So this is something that's been on my mind for months. I even wrote it down. I'm not even reading off of that script right now. This is all just, I have a few bullet points that I'm going to talk about today. And it's just all kind of off the cuff because I was sitting out there taking in the sun. I think this is like day 8 that I'm in Costa Rica. I'm here for another week, and it's rained every single day. Every single stinking day it has rained. This morning I woke up, opened up my eyes, and I said, gosh darn, there is sun outside. And, I took my time. I'm feeling a little under the weather, I'm not going to lie. So I came and made myself some tea, did just a tiny bit of a little work. And then I looked at the weather, channel, and I thought, oh no, this sun is going away in about an hour. I better get out there, because I haven't had a chance to sit on the sand and get in the ocean, really, except for the one day that I went to Isla Tortuga and there was sun there. But here in the Airbnb that we're staying in, there has been no sun, and it has rained every single day, which is probably why I have a cough and a sore throat, because I've been getting wet day after day. Excuse me, getting caught in the rain. And so I saw the sun. I said, I have to go out and sit on the beach. Took my towel, sat out there. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like running around on the beach by myself. It's a very private beach, so there's very few people around. And I'm walking around and just like frolicking around the beach. And I see this big pile of poop. I said, here it goes again. Seriously? They couldn't just dig a hole and hide it at a bare minimum, hide their shit? No, people just don't care. And so, and at this point, I had already called in my spirit guides and ascended masters, and I was communicating with them, and they're talking to me, and I see this, and they're telling me it's time you do this episode. Talk about this. So here I am talking about this dog shit again. So I'm here to encourage you for this new year. You don't need to start now. If you're still winterizing, if you're wintering and hibernating, that's cool. I do that for the first few weeks before I really get into like setting, intentions and really getting into it and getting my energy back. But at some point this year, if you're one of these people that is not doing the work and is not taking inventory of your own self and what you bring to the world and to the people that live around you, I encourage you to do that this year. Sometimes it's hard, I'm not going to lie, to go inward and look at how we are affecting people around us and how maybe our negative attitudes or beliefs or our behaviors or choices affect the people around us. But you could do it one at a time. We are here to do this work. We are here to have these challenges. And by here, I mean on this earth, in this lifetime, we chose to come here and have these experiences to help us become a better person. So take the bull by the horns and start doing the work on all of those things. So how do you do the work? There are many ways to do it, but I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can do the work, clean up your shit, clean your slate, whatever you want to call it. Okay. There are many ways to do it, and you can use one or multiple ways, but the important piece is to start. Okay. So I'm going to share with you 5. These are just 5 of many. Okay. Number 1 is I believe that the most important part is getting present and start asking yourself where you can improve. Where are you being judgmental of others? Is there something that you do that hurts others? What habits do you engage in regularly that you know are holding you back? Why do you think you continue to do them? Where do you feel stuck? So these are just a few little questions that you can start with, that you can start to kind of explore and get curious about, that will help you start getting present and acknowledging some of the things that could use some cleaning up. To help you get present, I recommend grounding exercises like being out in nature, even a walk, a hike out by the ocean helps a lot. That's why I love to go out by the ocean. To me, I feel the most powerful there. I like to get cleansed in the salt water. And then call in my spirit guides, dig my feet in the sand, and just get real close to Pachamama, to Mother Earth, and just thank her, and just I get grounded that way. You can also do it standing or walking barefoot on grass or dirt. Meditation is another really great way to get present. I know many people can't sit down to quiet the mind. It's not really quieting the mind. It is kind of just looking at the messages and watching them go by. And then at one point, you'll start to notice messages that come through that feel like they come out of nowhere. It almost feels like you're making them up sometimes. These are your spirit guides giving you messages and downloads, but more on that another day. There are short meditations on Insight Timer app, which is a completely free app that you can use to get started. I would start with real short meditations if you're not, if you don't already have a meditation practice. Just start by that. Or, like I said, getting grounded out in nature is a great way. I did record a podcast episode. It's episode 26. It's called The Art of Slowing Down and Being Present. I provide 7 tips to integrate slowness into your daily life. This might give you some ideas on how to start to slow down and get present. All right. Number 2 is doing inner child work in order to start cleaning up your slate, cleaning up your shit. It's a great way to start exploring what is holding you back, what blocks you have. Usually, we have limiting beliefs and messages and blocks that were created at a very young age, usually between the ages of 0 to 6. And we go about life with these limiting beliefs and thoughts. So basically, we're all walking around with the framework in our mind of a 6-year-old if we're not doing the work. So think about that. If you haven't done any work on yourself, if you have done nothing to clean up your shit, to clean up your slate, you are walking around with the framework in your mind of a 6-year-old. So if that doesn't encourage you to start doing your own work, I hope this does. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but like we all need to do our own work so that we show up as better individuals for each other in this lifetime. And so that when we leave this lifetime, we actually progressed and did some work and we don't have to come back and do it all over again, with the same lessons and the same challenges because we didn't take the time to clean up our shit in this lifetime. So I do have 2 podcast episodes that I can share with you that I recorded on inner child work. One is episode 43. It's Meet Your Inner Child, a guided meditation to uncover your true needs. So it's an episode, but within the episode, there's a meditation to help you uncover your true needs and start to help you unblock, or at least to understand your inner child a little bit better. And the other one is episode 41, Healing Your Inner Child, the path to quickly manifest your dreams. This is just to start to get you familiar with what the inner child is. And if you have more questions on that, please email me. And I do inner child work on myself all the time. And, and for my clients, like this is like almost one of the number one things that I do with my clients, regardless of what method or practice we use. There's always unblocking or healing the inner child and wounds and trauma and stuff like that. So that's that's number 2. Now, number 3, you can try breath work. Breath work is so powerful. Please, if you've never tried it, do not underestimate its power. I'm not going to lie. And this is doing it with a breathwork practitioner if you can. If not, there might be some breathwork meditations out there that you could find. I've done breathwork with practitioners, and one of them is Ana Lilia, my dear friend. She has a great podcast called, I believe it's called Breathe More, with Ana Lilia. And she actually was generous enough to give me an hour of her time and be a guest on my podcast. So the episode is called Breathwork and Healing with Ana Lilia, and I will link that in the show notes. All these episodes will be linked in the show notes. You can find them on my website too. But breathwork, the very first time I did breathwork, it was around ancestral healing, and it was so incredibly powerful with Ana Lilia. It was a workshop. I think it was like 30 minutes, maybe, or an hour. And you do this breathwork rotation that she teaches you how to do. And she's guiding you. She kind of does like this guided meditation in the process. And it is so powerful. What came through for me at the time was my deceased father, both my grandmothers, and my deceased aunt, all of them deceased. And it was a very, very powerful moment for me. Excuse me. It was really powerful for me because they had messages for me. They had messages for some steps that I needed to take, and they were so on point. And it was so just beautifully guided. And I have no regrets over that particular step that they shared with me that day. In fact, I feel like it has contributed to me kind of taking my own power back, after my divorce, and just really stepping into myself and my power and peeling back the layers to become authentically myself. And so that was really powerful. So listen to that podcast episode, Breathwork and Healing with Ana Lilia. And she talks a little bit more about how breathwork can help you heal. Number 4 would be nervous system regulation. This has been a real big buzzword a lot lately, I feel, in social media. It's being talked about a lot. And I did a podcast episode with another friend as well. That was episode 38, Nervous System Regulation, Your Secret to Wealth Growth. Now, while this particular title is around wealth, it really applies to everything. This is how you can heal your body. You can listen to what your body feels, your nervous system is feeling and telling you to identify where there are blocks. So that was a really good one and another great way for you to start cleaning up your slate. Number 5 is journaling. Journaling is so incredibly powerful. I've talked about it many times. I have a free download, a 7-day in journaling experience to empower yourself and your growth. And it's intended to be a practice to help you reflect in different areas of your life. But also for somebody who's never journaled before, this is a great way to get started. I send 7 journaling prompts in 7 days delivered to your email inbox. If you're interested in that, you can go to sonia-flores.com/journaling, and then you can sign up to receive that if you wanted to start getting into that practice. And that will also help you identify where are you being held back, where are your blocks, and what are your habits, and kind of start to get present and acknowledge some of those areas where you may need to work. And listen, the work never stops. Okay. So when you start going through this inventory or reflecting, if you will, please don't get down on yourself about, oh my gosh, I got to do all this work. Listen, we all have a ton of work to do. And like the more we do, the more layers, it's just peeling back the layers. It's just peeling back the layers over and over again. The work is never done, but it's so beautiful. I promise you, it is so rewarding. So, I did a podcast episode on that as well. Episode 16, Journey to Self Through Journaling, a 7-day journaling experience. I'm sure that this is the episode where I talk about that particular 7-day journaling experience download that you can download for free. Basically, I take you through the 7 days, completely free, delivered to your inbox, these prompts to help you reflect on yourself. So these are 5 ways. There's got to be one way in which you feel is calling to you that you can do. You start small, start slow, but start. Try one of these, and then other things will present themselves. As you start working on one thing and exploring a little bit more, the doors will start opening up for you, and you just go with what feels in your heart like, "Ooh, this sounds interesting to me. Let me try journaling, or let me try breath work." Just try one thing at a time and slowly. There's no rush, there's no race. Just start working on one thing at a time. Start cleaning your slate so the people around you don't feel like they have to walk around you, on the sidewalk, like not want to be around you to smell all your stuff. And, we can see it sometimes, just hanging off of you when you haven't done your own work. And listen, we all go through it. We all go through ebbs and flows in life. And sometimes we are having a low and we're in a low place, and we just have to honor that sometimes. And then we got to just get some gumption under us and be like, all right, I wallowed enough. How do I get out of this hole? How do I get back to the high? And we start to work towards that. And it's all an ebb and flow in life. It's all ups and downs. And the important thing is that you're working on yourself and you're cleaning your slate, picking up your dog shit, um, literally and metaphorically. So I hope that this episode is helpful for you, that it inspires you to please start cleaning your slate if you're not already, that it's giving you some ideas of things that you can do. And again, let me remind you that I've created this fun manifestation toolkit that will help you get your year started on the right path to start manifesting intentionally the life that you desire and so much deserve to live. You just imagine yourself a year from now reviewing that those manifestations and intentions that you set now within the next month, and just looking at how far you've come, like how much closer you are to the things that you really want in your life. So, again, that's soniadash.com/manifest. Thank you so much for being here. Hasta la próxima. Happy New Year. Be safe. Hasta la próxima.